Donald Trump proudly announced to the world last week that he had a framework for a future deal on Greenland with NATO, not with Denmark or Greenland itself, with NATO, who has no control over the sovereignty of Greenland. So right off the bat, the whole deal was kind of in question. But NATO did get Donald Trump to back off his threats on Greenland, and Trump agreed to literally just give them nothing in return. So they won, he lost. And once he realized that, he came back to the United States and then told Fox Business that I get whatever part of Greenland I want. He actually said, quote, going to have total access to Greenland and all the military access we want, which was not even part of the deal. So he's out there making these false claims about this so-called framework of a future deal. And, expectedly, it's not sitting well with either Denmark or Greenland. And in an interview published this week with a senior Greenland cabinet member by the name of, my apologies, I am definitely going to mispronounce this, I believe it is Naya Nathanielson, she said that, quote, Greenland giving up sovereignty is not on the table. And this, of course, echoes what the Danish Prime Minister Frederiksen said, who said that Denmark could negotiate on almost anything, but we cannot negotiate on our sovereignty. But Nathanielson continued, saying, our mission as politicians and members of the cabinet is to try to get things back on track and figure out through dialogue how to deal with this. In other words, both Denmark and Greenland are telling Donald Trump, you don't have access to our country. And of course, they did remind him, NATO does not have control over our sovereignty. We do. So if you think you're going to come over here and take pieces of land because NATO told you something, that ain't the case. Because NATO doesn't have the authority to do that. That would be like NATO telling any European country, oh yeah, by the way, you guys can go over to the United States and just take whatever land you want and build a military base, and you've got complete sovereignty over it. So it seems like this framework of a future deal, and I know I keep repeating that, but it's because that's how Donald Trump framed it, has already fallen apart. Because Donald Trump made it clear before this framework of a future deal even came about that nothing short of complete and total ownership of Greenland would satisfy him. Greenland is telling him, you're not going to have that ever. You're not going to even own the pieces of land that you have your military bases on. That's still our land. You don't get to run it as if it were a piece of the United States under U.S. jurisdiction. That's not how this goes. The funny thing is, if this were actually about military bases or U.S. national security, Donald Trump could have diplomatically gone over to Greenland or Denmark, I guess, sat down with leaders, said, listen, I'll pump a bunch of money into this land. You just got to let us, have our military base here, which would also benefit you because we will clearly share the intelligence. We're all a little bit safer. You get lots of money. We get our base here to prevent Russia and China from bringing a ship nearby. Everybody wins. What do you guys say? Pretty good deal, right? But he didn't do that because he's an insane fascist wannabe little dictator. So he went about it the wrong way and screwed himself over in the process when this could have been an easy 15-minute meeting where he walked out with everything he wanted. That is, of course, again, assuming this was actually about military security, national security, all that, and not about strip mining the island and taking away all their resources, which is what this is actually about. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.